Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the current budgeting system that I am using to manage my family's finances. And if you haven't seen my other budgeting related video, it's the debt-free journey progress update. I did mention that I am using a new budgeting system, and it is called the Budget by Paycheck Workbook, and it is by the Budget Mom. She is on Instagram, she has a blog, and she is on YouTube as well. And I've seen a couple people use it, and I thought I would give it a shot since I've kind of been in a budgeting slump, or what's the term? I just haven't been really motivated, I guess you can say. But so far, this is the first month that I am using this, and I am loving it so far. So let's go ahead and just take a look at what I have here. I did purchase the digital download copy because she did offer the physical version, the physical workbook, but it was already all sold out, which is okay because if anything, I can go back and reprint it out. It is blank, so it works out. So this is the binder that I am using. It was just an old binder that I had tucked away. It's a 1.5-inch binder. I didn't print out all of the months just yet. I believe I just have up until August in here. And what I have in the front here is just all the accessories I need, or the accessories I use when I am budgeting, which is nice and convenient because I can just take the binder with me to my kitchen table and just budget it out or track my expenses, all of that budgeting stuff. So I just keep highlighters, whiteout, calculator in here, pens, pencil as well. I printed out this page, which I probably didn't need to because it's just going to stay home. But if you need it, it's there. I also had written down, before I started using this, I wrote a debt-free journey kind of reflection, or I jotted down pretty much a couple of their wins, lessons that I've learned, and things that I'm still learning, because I have been budgeting and paying off debt since June of last year. So I thought I would just reflect back on this past year. So in the workbook, you also get a financial plan goal worksheet. It is very goal oriented to help you crush all of your financial goals. And on this sheet, it has your short-term goals, medium goals, and your long-term goals. This I still have to go through and revise. Nothing's really set, but I did have a couple that I really for sure want to save up for. And you also get a yearly savings sheet for your goals and events. So you have space to write down 8 goals, what your yearly goal amount is, and the monthly amount that you need to make for each goal, and a due date. And then to help you track these goals, you also get a yearly savings tracker here. And there's enough space again for the 8 goals and then the months down this side. So you would be tracking how much is going in, and then when you spend it, and then how much is left over, and then when you're adding again. And in the next worksheet, or in the next sheet, you get a membership and subscription reminder worksheet. And on here, I also decided to add our vehicle registration because it does happen once a year. I think this is just super helpful to kind of see what you pay for yearly. That way you don't forget to put that in your budget. So I did print this out in black and white. If it wasn't black and white, it would be a nice purple color. And I think each month had different colors on it. It's just I ran out of ink, so that's why it's black and white. And on each tab, or each month, it comes with a quote, and I absolutely love them because it just keeps you motivated, or for me, that's what it does for me. And on this one, it says, a big part of financial freedom is having your heart and mind free from worry about the what ifs of life. That's totally true. And then in your monthly layout, the way the Budget Mom does it, I am doing it kind of her way. So what she does is, so for every payday that you have, so for example, payday was on the 31st for us in May, but technically for us, we just count it as the 1st because the bills that it's going to cover is pretty much from the 1st to until we get paid again on the 14th. So anything here you see in green, that's all of the bills that's going to be covered by this paycheck. And again, when we get paid on the 14th, that's in purple. All of the bills that's highlighted in purple is going to be taken out of that paycheck. And then I am going to go ahead and get started on the July budget so that I know how much I need to save in the June 28th paycheck to carry over to make sure I cover our variable expenses and our bills, so that I'm not thinking we have a third paycheck when we really don't, because I need that money to roll over and cover the rest of our bills the beginning of July. So that's that. Oh, and also I did put down a couple of events on here just so I know for myself that I need to set aside a budget for things like Father's Day, my father-in-law's birthday, my son's having a kinder park day, and there's a graduation party and a birthday party as well, just so I know when I'm setting up my budget that I need to budget out for those events as well, just so in the last minute we're not trying to figure out what gift to get when we don't have money budgeted out for it. So that's that. You also get a notes page that you can print out, or you don't have to print out if you don't want to use it, but I just wanted to print it out. And on here I ended up using it for a fraudulent purchase or a fraudulent transaction that occurred in my account. So in the next worksheet is the paycheck bill tracker, and you get 4 of these pages just in case you guys just in case you get paid 4 times a month. For my family, it's just my husband right now with the income. I am a stay-at-home mom, and my husband gets paid every other week or bi-weekly, and this is for the paycheck on May 31st, which again we're counting as if it's June 1st. And it was a little bit on the short side, and here you can kind of see the amount that was left over from our May paycheck, and then his paycheck amount was about $500 less. So we did put a little bit, or transferred a little bit from our savings account to make sure we just cover a couple of the expenses and bills and stuff. And then there is a section for your bills for all of the things that need to get paid for. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's got to get paid for. And then at the bottom here, it is for your variable expenses. And the budget by paycheck workbook is kind of set up for you to use the cash envelope system, but you don't have to, I think, use the cash envelope system. But if you were going to, it is set up for it to be easier on you, which I find to be completely true, as you guys will see me as I flip through the pages. So these are our cash envelopes. The only thing that I left in the account is our gas, and then our cushion. I wanted to make sure I didn't entirely zero out our account after all the bills are taken, because you just never know. And I just want to make sure we don't have that overdraft protection. I took it out because I didn't want to get charged the fees. I would rather just get declined. But yeah, so I just don't ever want my account to be at zero, so I leave myself a little bit of a cushion. And as you guys can see, there's a lot of crossouts, a lot of whiteouts, because I'm still trying to figure it out. On this side, take this out, is a spot for your sinking funds, extra debt payments, and extra savings. And again, you get 4 of these trackers. These are my like chicken scratch stuff when I'm trying to figure out how much to budget in each category. I don't know if you guys are like that too, but I like to kind of calculate things ahead of time and then write it in. Otherwise, you get white out like this, like what I have here. So this is for the paycheck that we got on the 14th. I didn't write it down, my bad. And I do like to budget out real numbers that my husband gets, because, or let me rephrase that. I like to do the budget when I find out how much he gets paid. So he gets paid every other Friday, and he finds out how much he gets paid on the Wednesday prior, like Wednesday evening. So I do my budgets on Thursday, because I don't like to try to guess how much he's going to get paid. I want to know how much he's getting paid, because it's just easier for me to work with the real numbers. And again, this is spot for your bills, same sheet as before. Then I've never really budgeted this way before. I used to try to budget the whole entire month, but going from paycheck to paycheck, budget, I think it just helps you see, what am I trying to say? It just helps you break down your expenses a little bit better. I don't know if that makes sense, but so for example, my budget here that I have left over is $1,020, but in the first week I had $392 to work with because this was totally my bad. I had not expected my husband to be short on his paycheck because he did call out. He was sick quite a lot in the month of May, and he used up a lot of his sick time and was using personal days, and some days were not paid and some days were partially paid. So I didn't take that into account, and I should have left more money in there than this amount here. So which is why we were working with such a tight budget, I feel like, for the last 2 weeks. So from May 31st until June 14th when we got paid again, and we ate everything in our pantry because we didn't want to blow our food budget. So yeah, and then now, since we ate everything in our freezer, our pantry, our fridge, we had money, a lot more money left over in this paycheck to kind of do a grocery trip, to kind of restock on everything. This time on my bills section here, I did add a bigger checking account cushion and replenishing our emergency fund. I decided to put it up here just so I make sure, just so it reminds me to transfer over those funds into my savings account that I have. And I also made a note here in the extra debt payment that our Capital One payment on the 21st, it does have an extra payment of $51 already, but it's on auto pay. So sometimes I forget that it is an extra debt payment because it's the minimum payment for it is usually $29, but we did move it up to $80. So that is technically an extra debt payment to me. Yeah. So if you are a cash envelope user, these sheets will totally help you out, especially when you go to the bank and get your money. So she has this page right here, the cash envelope breakdown, does come with 2 pages. So you have spots right here, or a place to put all of your categories, your variable expense categories, and then the cash breakdowns of how much you want to have for each category. So for example, for food, I like to get kind of the bigger bills. So two $100 bills and the rest in 20s. I love how she makes it easy for you to write everything that you need here. Just cut it out. When you go to the bank, you just hand it to the teller and let them know this is the amount and the denominations that I want. So I think that comes in very, very helpful. And so onto the expense trackers. It does come with 4 pages, and if you need more, you can always print it out. So I did break it down kind of similar to how the Budget Mom does it. She has a expense tracker for her cash and also one for her checking account. So, and I also highlighted it by categories just so I can see I can see what category I'm spending the most on, and right now it's food. So that's from what I can see so far. I just didn't highlight our June savings on here. I am participating in the June savings challenge. It's $2 a day, and that's what all of these little June savings transactions are. And what else with the cash? Oh, something that I decided to start doing is putting little check marks here, because when I go through our cash envelopes, or when we have a day where we're spending a lot of money or a lot of cash in one day, I like to go through and just count and make sure everything balances out. And that's what the check mark is for, meaning that yes, that is how much I have in the envelopes, because if I don't have that amount, it kind of makes me think like, okay, where did we spend our money? Which is important to kind of keep your receipts. And I'm really bad at that. But lately I've been using my old mini happy planner wallet, and I turned it into a cash envelope wallet. So I put it in there, and then when I do my expense tracking, I just input all the numbers. And I do this every night. If we spend money, lately cash, we don't really spend all the time. So it's mostly the checking account where I'm tracking all of our debt payments that come out, checks that's cleared, like for rent, all of our bills that are taken out of our checking account. And yeah, so these are all highlighted as well. And everything in red is all of the debt on here, and we do have a lot of debt payments, as you guys can see. So that's what our expense trackers look like. This is the debt payment plan for the month of June, and I will leave my video down below in case you guys are interested, because I talk more about this in my debt-free journey update progress. I don't know what I called it, but something like that, because we've been paying off debt for a year, and I did kind of like a progress update on that. So if you want to watch that, I will leave it down below. Well, I'll leave the link to the video down below. And then you also get a tracker here for your monthly net worth for your month. So I cannot talk right now. So this worksheet is for your monthly net worth tracker. I've never filled out anything like this before, so I am going to fill it out towards the end of the month. And then I think these ones are kind of cool too, because it's pretty much a breakdown of your monthly budget category. Holy moly, I can't talk right now. So it has you list all of your budget categories, the monthly budget that you set for those categories, how much you spent, what the difference was, and what percent of your income did you spend on that category. So let me show you guys in the next month, or I guess it's towards the end. Okay, so yeah, that's what that worksheet is. And I will do a recap once I fill all of these worksheets out at the end of the month. I will come back and kind of recap everything as well. You also get a where did my money go monthly debt and savings breakdown as well. And on here you have a side for debt. So your total monthly income, monthly debt payoff, percentage of income to debt, all of your debt categories, the total, and percentage of category to debt. So this I'm still probably going to have to try to figure out how to fill out, but it looks pretty self-explanatory. And then you have one for savings as well. So total monthly income, total monthly savings, and the percentage of your income that was saved. And then on the next one, monthly spending comparisons. So this compares your expenses from last month compared to this month. And I did discover the Budget Mom about a few months ago, and I decided that in May, before I kind of dive in and purchase her workbook, I wanted to see if I can actually really do it. And so in the month of May, what she highly suggests is to first track all of your expenses so that you kind of have a gauge of realistically where is your money really going, just so you can create your budget categories that way, instead of you really wishfully thinking like, okay, for my food budget, I just want to spend like $300 a month. But in reality, you spend more than that, because there's more of you guys to feed. We're a family of 4, so trying to spend $300 on food, it's doable, but to a certain extent. My family eats, or especially my 2 little kids. So yeah, that's just an example. So in the month of May, I tracked every single thing. It was probably the bad month to track, because there was my husband's birthday, my son's birthday party, and then Mother's Day and other events going on in the month, which caused us to spend a little bit more. So this is a breakdown of those categories. So I had debt, events and birthdays, food, memberships, because one of our memberships was due that month, registration, or a car and gas budget, but one of my vehicles registration was due that month, utilities, insurance, household, my allowance, my husband's allowance, my son's school, fun stuff, and then medical, and then the amount that we spent on here, and then the percentage of our budget that we spent. So the top three on here that I have is debt. So 21.5% of our income went towards debt, and events and birthdays. This is a high number to me. So I have to remember to start saving up ahead of time for like my son and husband's birthdays, so that we don't spend this much. $893. So that's about 20% of our income for that month that went to events and birthdays, which is crazy to me. And for food, we spent $566, which was 13% of our income. And the goal for this month, I set a budget. If I added up the budget from the first paycheck and the second paycheck, it should only total up to $500, if not less, because my goal is to spend less than this amount. And yeah, so that's how the monthly spending comparison works. It's kind of nice to see, because if you see that you spent a lot of money in a certain category here, you can kind of set yourself up the next month to spend less, or I don't know, whatever you want to do, I guess, with the numbers. So yeah, that's pretty much the last of the worksheets. And then, like I said earlier, I do have July and August on here already. Oh, I did fill this out already. I thought I didn't. So yeah, I did fill this out. So anything highlighted in blue here is going to be taken out of the paycheck on the 28th here. So that's just so I know that's where that money is going to be going to. So this is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. I hope I explained everything okay. If there's anything you don't understand, I probably don't understand it maybe as well, because again, I'm still new to this. Just leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer as best as I can. And yeah, I will see you guys towards the end of the month. I will do a recap on the rest of the worksheets that are here towards the end. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.